Hello and welcome to this review of Canadian Leaf Premium Blended Whiskey. I poured it already. I had done a review but across the street with their compressed air making noise. Naturally I cut off the video so they stopped. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I tried it and it's a Canadian whiskey with natural flavors, and someone told me that's usually plum wine. They tend to flavor the Canadian whiskey with plum wine. There's no age statement. Oh, it's probably aged 3 or 4 years. There's the Canadian type crest, the Governor General's lion with wearing a crown, holding the Canadian leaf, just like you see on the Governor General's flag for Canada. And a crest would look like Nova Scotia and various Canadian icons. I can't really make them out. A lion and a horse. Marie Osque ad Mare. Bottled by Oak Park Distilling Company of Baltimore, Maryland, 80 proof. This little 200 milliliter bottle I bought for $1.99 at Specs in Texas, famous liquor store chain there. They did have the regular size 750 bottles. I should have bought those, but it does have a code here, Maryland MD 17131. That's telling us it was bottled in Maryland, Baltimore County, Maryland, 131st day of 2017. Interesting thing about this. There's no website. It is listed on the Sazerac.com website. They show this and they list the bottle sizes. Okay, I did some research. The trademark was acquired for this in October 1961 by Majestic Distilling. It was probably always one of those imported things for the United States market only. Majestic is a very old company in Canada, in Maryland, Baltimore. They're the people that made the Lord Calvert originally, the famous Club 400 whiskey, which is popular in Canada, fixated on Canada, in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland area, not around here, although I did buy a bottle in northern Alabama. They were the people that developed Pikesville Rye, which is sold right here in this town. No longer made by them, but they developed it. So Majestic Distilling, a historic old place, still in operation today as a blending and bottling plant, no longer distilling. I think they stopped that around 1979. Owned by Sazerac for a number of years. Now you're not going to see television or radio or newspaper or magazine ads for Canadian Leaf. But you might see it around. It might be sold here. I haven't seen it here. I wasn't actively looking for it, however. But obviously it sells. They still produce it. It probably trickles out, but there's enough market for it to be made. So it's kind of a light chestnut color. There's very nice alcohol legs on this, and the aroma is extremely pleasant. Is it vastly, I'm trying to get my words right, is it vastly different from Albertson's Canadian Whiskey, a blend, another Sazerac product? Not really. That's coming from the Kentucky bottling plant. No, but it is different because on this one, I'm getting that odd fruit, which I'm thinking is like the guy, commentator, I can't remember his name, said plum wine. There's a nut oil, I would say pecan oil. The indistinguishable grain, but very pleasant grains. Not that harsh bourbon corn grits thing going. It's just mild, mild, mild. But not dull like Canadian Mist. We've complained about Canadian Mist. Is this bursting with strong and intense flavors? No, it is not. But it's presenting a very mellow, mild, and approachable bouquet. So, October 1961, introduced by Majestic Distilling and still produced there. Now, they got one of these alias names. These companies do this all the time. Oak Park Distilling Company, Baltimore, Maryland. No such company exists, but Majestic does. The U.S. government does allow alias names. They'll say that right on the Tax and Trade Bureau website. These are allowed. premium, that's a meaningless marketing term. Premium is not a legal term. And I had somebody comment the other day, the word premium is used too much because like ghastly items say premium. That's right, anybody can say premium. It's a meaningless term. Whiskey, that's a legal term, okay? Canadian whiskey, a legal term. Beer, legal term. Premium, not a legal term. Craft beer, not a legal term. Anybody can say craft. It's a totally non-legal term. You cannot claim a tort or that you were damaged because somebody sold a Blue Moon as a craft beer and you found out it was owned by Molson Coors. You're not going to win. So, taste. Look, mellow. Yes, oak. Not charred oak, but just like say an oak barrel. The nut oil, pecan, I'm thinking. Yes, I think the person that commented was probably right that it's the plum wine. And it might be 2% or blending sherry. But there's some white wine thing going on here. It's not overt, but it's covert. Medium bodied and a moderate finish. It doesn't drop right off, it doesn't linger, and becomes sickeningly cloying. You know, really, you think about this, for $6.99, this is like a perfect product. I can see why it's been on the market for nearly 60 years. They don't charge a lot. They don't deliver a whole lot. But they don't rip you off either. It's like, okay, Canadian Leaf, here it is. It's, I guess mellow is its calling card. But it's not dull. You know, we did Canadian Mist and we thought dull was its calling card. This is not dull. I'm thinking that this would be more appealing to more people than it would be less appealing. You know what I mean? It's just like a serviceable product. Yeah, okay, more of a mixer, not a contemplative sitting by the fireplace, swirling it. Oh, yeah, it's so nuanced. It is nuanced, but not in that way. So this is the first video review for this whiskey in the world, and more than likely the last. Would I recommend it? I would highly recommend it for $6.99, a regular size bottle, and for $1.99 for this 200 milliliter. Highly recommend it. It's pleasant. It exists. I reviewed it. Thank you for watching this video production.